I'm always delighted when it's a second row that I'm interviewing. It's always good for a short arse like me. Tim, first of all, some changes. Obviously, it's great having Stuart Hogg back. What's that going to mean for us?
Yeah, it's going to be a good attacking edge. You know, he's been edging to get back in the team ever since his injury, so it'll be good to see what he does this day off the attacking ball.
Nico playing on the wing tonight. How much is he going to enjoy that freedom?
Like I said, he's got freedom anyway. When Nico plays, you're not quite sure what he's going to do when you're in team. And I feel really sorry for the teams we play against tonight. It'll be good to see what he does, as long as it's not too cold for him.
Yes, of course. Well, is that his preferred place? So he prefers to be out in the wing, running about?
No, I think his preferred place is with the ball in space. I don't think he really has a position, unfortunately.
Okay. DTH moving into centre, scorer last week. Obviously a record-breaking scorer at wing. So what can he offer in centre?
Yeah, DTH is one of a kind player. He's fantastic going forward. Really much like a flanker who's actually got pace. So it'd be good to see what he can do. He's fantastic, basically.
Okay. Last time we were here, we watched a fairly ugly game, disappointing game for us. We were kind of sucked in a little bit by Munster. How much focus has there been on the mental game and just dealing with that on the field?
Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing. Munster have got a lot of old guys who've played that sort of game for years and years. And I think that night we really missed out, and now starting again tonight really brings an edge to the leadership role in the team. He does a fantastic job for the club.
And you're having a pretty good season, scored against Exeter. How much are you enjoying the time here?
It's absolutely amazing. Like, since I moved up about 18 months ago, it's been a completely different change. It's a great club, great team. It's the players that really make it. Like, it's so inclusive, and a social club, and we get along with each other very well.
I think what we must appreciate as well, which is something great in the past seasons when we've been in this autumn test situation, our side has looked fairly depleted, but looking at the starting 15 tonight, it's full of names that we trust, that we love. How much is that a reassurance for our coaches tonight to be able to pick such a team?
Yeah, it's one thing we noticed about 5 games in this year when we're playing over in Italy. You know, we're talking about quite a few guys who had been rested that week, and we turned out a side with 14 internationals out of 15. So we've got huge strength and depth, just in my position as well. We've now got 5 international second rows, with Johnny Gray getting his first cap against South Africa. So it's just amazing what sort of choices the coach has got to pick from.
Dragons, we are expected to win against the Dragons tonight. It's a hard thing to say, and I'm sure Gregor Townsend will have been encouraging you not to think that way. So how much focus has there been on complacency this week?
Yeah, it's a tough problem. We scored 100 points against them in 2 games last year. And you know, a lot of fans will be seeing that and thinking, oh, this is going to be fantastic, it'll be a try-fest. They've got a vastly improved team this year. They've got a new coaching setup, they've got new players, and they're really competing this year. There've been a couple of teams down there. They beat Ulster beginning of the season in Wales. So they're going to bring a different sort of attack than they did before. We'll see tonight. Final
question. It was obviously very important to have Duncan Weir involved last week with these 14 points from the foot. Tonight, we've seen a few of the guys warming up there, kicking for goal. Who's going to be the starter in terms of the place kicking?
Who knows? I'm a forward. I just know it's not me. So I've tried once and I got told to go away. You'll see, they've put a lot of practice into it. And, you know, from 9 through to 15, they're all good kickers. Just see who put their hand up during the week.
All right, Tim. Prediction for tonight then?
You're going to go for the 4-try bonus point. So, like I said, 28-12.
28-12 and a bonus point as well. All right, Tim. Thank you very much for coming here. Our appreciation for Tim Swinson, please. Didn't even know you were there. Sorry, Tyrone. I've run out of questions. No, I haven't at all. I'm sure we can answer more. Ladies and gentlemen, Tyrone Holmes. First of all, tonight out there in the freezing cold, looking a bit kind of hard on the ground. What are the conditions going to be like, and how much of a challenge is that going to be for the team tonight?
I think obviously the ball's going to be a little bit wet from the dew across the ground. But I think other than that, it's great conditions, and I think you're going to see some running rugby.
I know that we're on the road last week. How much of a boost is it to get these wins on the road and on our travels?
Oh, definitely. It's a massive boost for the team. It isn't an easy game in the Rabo, and I think for us to get our away wins is very important.
It's interesting. We're just talking there about the frustration of a couple of weeks ago. What have you learned from the way that we were kind of sucked in by Munster a couple of weeks ago here?
I've learned that you've obviously got to play the ref, see what you can get away with, and if you can get away with it, keep doing it. And I think that's what they did well. They came here and they cheated, and sort of, slightly, and they got away with it. They did well.
And in terms of the mood in the camp this week, obviously with players missing and involved in the international side, and I was with the Dragons themselves, it's been said that their league position doesn't really represent their form. So how cautious are you of what they can bring tonight?
We're very cautious. We've spoken about it the whole week. Where they are on the table is not representative of how they can play. They pushed a lot of the top teams very close and been unlucky in a lot of games. I think they're obviously missing a few players as well, so they've got a few guys who have stepped in who are going to be very hungry and eager to make their mark.
And personally, how are you finding the challenge of the standards that we're setting as a squad?
Oh, the challenges are awesome. I find that I'm doing right now to rise to them, and I'm being enjoyed being pushed to my limits.
Alright, well, great to talk to you. A quick prediction as well, since Tim gave us an idea of what he thinks might happen. What do you think will happen tonight?
I think I'm going to go with Tim as well. I think we're going to get a 4-point bonus, a 4-try bonus point. Maybe a 32-12. I'll go 32-12.
Tyrone, thanks so much for joining us here in the clubhouse. Ladies and gentlemen, Tyrone and Tim! Thanks for your attention as well. Good to see lots of numbers here this evening in the clubhouse. We're going to be back here at full time and we'll be chatting to the coaching staff, hopefully reflecting on a Glasgow Warriors victory in the Rapid Direct Pro 12. Thanks again. Enjoy your beers, get laid into the curry as well, and make lots of noise this evening for the men in black. Thank you.